Hello, geeks. You're looking at an official program of the event Wrestling Queendom held in 1994 by AJW. I'm just going to flip through the pages so you can have a look, because they're really quite nice. So here we go. These are... I can't read Japanese, so I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, so I'm mainly guessing, but it looks like the opening thing is just showing the match cards of the event, because there were 11 matches on here. A lot of nice photos here. And next we've got, well, some more pictures. I'd forgotten what was next actually. And this is speaking of the main event of the show, which is Akira Hokuto teaming with Shinobu Kandori, who you can see in the corner here getting her ass kicked by Aja Kong, and Aja Kong and Bull Nakano. And here are the programs I thought I was going to mention. Here's Akira Hokuto, Shinobu Kandori. These two would be teaming against each other in the main event, despite the fact they absolutely despise each other and almost tried to murder each other last year at Dream Slam 1993, which just makes the match very interesting dynamic. And they are facing the biggest badass team in the history of badassery. It's Bull Nakano. Look at these photos. She is so fucking cool. And Aja Kong. I recognise these photos as coming from the match she had against Yumiko Hotta in January 1994, where she completely ruined Yumiko's hand. Here we've got some more profiles. It's Toshio Yamada, Kyoko Inoue, such a fun little joker. Saki Hasegawa, she's kind of one of my favourites, who isn't a main eventer. She always bloody loses most of her matches, but she doesn't care. She just clenches her fists and says she'll try her best next time. Dynamite Kansai from JWP. Manami Toyota. I'm not sure what this is actually. It's a photo of Shinobu Kandori. Some of these are just kind of randomish articles from what I can tell, because it says at the bottom, like, by... If anyone can read Japanese, you can maybe tell me what any of this means. I'm guessing this is more information about the matches on the card. This looks like an advert for where you could buy a VHS of the All-Star Dream Slam show in 1993. I'm guessing, I may be wrong. It gives you like a telephone number that you can call. And we're back to the profiles now. Here is Yumiko Hotta. Another photo from that same match against Aja Kong in 1994. Suzuka Minami. I was kind of interested in Suzuka because she's kind of, I don't mean in a mean way, but irrelevant. She never seems to have any storyline. She's just constantly there for years in the lower mid card in the 90s. Strangely, there's a photo of Dustin Rhodes in here. I don't understand why. Maybe this is just an advert for like wrestling in general. But hey, it's Dustin Rhodes. More adverts for shows. I recognise this one as being the August 1993 show. I think it's called Legacy of Queens. Now on sale, that makes sense. Here's Takako Inoue. Eagle Sawai from LLPW. Here is the Pro Wrestling column from Fumi Saito, who some people may have heard of as he's still around doing podcasts and the like. Again, can't read what he's actually telling us. But I guess he's giving his opinions on stuff that has been happening in AJW lately. Another photo of Paul Nakano. I don't know what this is, but it just seems all of their roster and a few outsiders. Here is what appears to be a comic strip of the wrestlers in the main event. See, that's definitely Bull Nakano, Aja Kong, Shinobu Kondori, and Akira Hokuto. Don't know what's going on though. Looks like a sinister manager is making them an offer. Here's Aja giving Bull Nakano a hug to stop her from turning into a zombie. Or maybe she's sleepwalking and Aja is taking her back to bed. Akira Hokuto has been made fun of by this woman pointing her, and she's very angry, and she's so angry that she screamed the whole house down. That's probably not the actual story. Here is a minis match. AJW on their undercard. Usually the first or second match was between two wrestlers with dwarfism, which you never really see them on their highlight shows, but it is a regular thing if you ever watch their full shows. The All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling Hotline. Here's photos of what looks like all the referees or various officials working for the company. Here's a nice event, a photo of Kyoko looking like a little nerd. I recognise these as the Marine Wolves. This photo looks like it may have been like 1989-ish. More profiles. This is Reggie Bennett, who appeared very sporadically. I remember mainly from Arcean in the late 90s and the AJW days actually. Mayumi Ozaki and Kiki Suzuki, both from JWP. Mima Shimoda. And of course, next to her, it has to be Atsuko Mita, her tag team partner. Also, really fucking cool. And really, really fucking tall. You can't really tell from the photos, but she's about 5'8", which is extremely tall, relatively speaking. This is Hikari. I've forgotten the name, to be honest. Hikari Fukuara. I probably pronounced that totally wrong. Plum Mariko, who passed away not long after this, unfortunately. Candy Okutsu. Here's a big one of Megumi Kudo, who wrestled for FMW mainly. Most famous for barbed wire matches and the like. She continues over here. And here's a very strange wrestler called, if you cannot guess from the photo, Nurse Nakamura, who later after this became a bad guy and changed her ring name to Bad Nurse Nakamura. And we're nearly done now. I recognise her as Chaparita Rasari. I barely recognise the others. I've seen them in a few undercard matches. This may just be profiles of some of the younger wrestlers. Bunch of adverts. And we are completely finished, and all we got at the back is this strange advert for orange juice, which I don't understand what message it's trying to tell us there, but there you go. All done.